what's so crazy? I did that last week, and I don't think that happened. This meeting is being recorded.
It's really annoying. It's really loud too.
It's just you, bro.
No, we panicked because Noah was like, "Is this recording?
No,
I don't know."
I saw that. I saw that on the recording.
I was scared as hell, bro.
We may have an episode. I don't know.
I recorded twice. I was like, did a little 10-second thing, and I was like, we may not have an episode at the end. Like,
I saw that. That was funny.
Oh my gosh, that was nerve wracking, exhilarating.
How you guys doing?
I mean, Avery, the better question is how you doing? We were without you for a week, and we were in shambles. We almost didn't record the podcast. I've been listening to the whole thing.
Y'all went off for 2 hours, but
see, when you're not here, we don't have anyone to keep us in focus.
Well,
it was a 2-hour episode.
I have to ask Avery, how was it the whole episode with our guests and everything?
Okay, I can't say I got through all 2 hours, but the hour that I did listen to was very good.
Okay, that's fair. It was a long episode.
It was really interesting, and the guests were awesome. So
yeah, it was a long episode, but
no, I looked at that. That was an hour and 55 minutes. But I feel bad because we told all of them it's going to be an hour. Like that's what.
Yeah.
I just feel like you guys got really into the discussion, and that was good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what happens. Like, I think that's what we've learned. Like, if we get too into it, we'll go on forever. It's like, okay, we gotta find a stopping point eventually.
It's hard though. It's hard to keep things under an hour,
especially when it's a good conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Shout out to Lex, Lena, and Baby Spider for coming on last week. That was a great discussion.
Yeah, they killed it.
Shout out to Avery for being back this week.
Yeah. Hopefully we can have another good discussion. This might be our best run of episodes. Seriously, with the Grammy episode, that was one of my favorite discussions for real.
Show me a pod that has a better run of episodes.
No, seriously, that was like our greatest three. If this episode is like a great discussion again, I hope it is. I feel like it is, but that might be the greatest three run.
Oh, this episode's gonna be something.
Okay, guys, let's relax.
Okay, I actually want a music thing. So, you guys, have either of you watched the Billie Eilish Apple Music documentary?
Not yet. No. I've heard it's good. I've heard good things.
It's really good. Honestly,
I'm not going to watch it
last weekend, and I think it may be one of the best, one of the better, not best, but one of the better music documentaries.
I told you guys how I feel about this. I hate when artists do documentaries when they're out for a year. Like Billie Eilish is a fairly
no, but hers is different though, because it follows. I didn't realize they've been recording since she was 14, so it follows.
No, she wrote Ocean Eyes when she was 13, 14 years old.
I feel
so it's actually really cool because it shows this everyday child going from living with parents to suddenly having the #1 album and world and being at Coachella.
I definitely feel you. I still feel the same way. It's like, oh, okay. Let me see the end first. Let me see the end. Let's wait. Let's see it all first. You know what I'm saying? Let's see the end. Let's not just
hater.
I like Billie Eilish. I like Billie Eilish's music. I like her. I like her as a personality and everything. But I don't know. I'm just let's wait till the end.
I brought it up to say they had about 30 minutes of that documentary dedicated to how she was a Justin Bieber stan and he makes appearances. And it actually made me like Justin Bieber a little bit more because he came off as super humble in the doc. So I just want to let you guys know, going into this episode, I'm actually coming from a place of
positivity.
I mean, we can touch on how his significance in our generation, including with people like Billie Eilish, because I think it shouldn't go unspoken.
Okay, this intro is long. We've now officially deep teased what our actual topic is. But welcome to the 97 demo, where we give you the latest music news, and a whole bunch along the way. I'm Nnamdi Agwanwu, joined by my two friends.
Noah McGee, what's up?
And Avery DeLal.
Oh, that was the first time they all said their last names on their own.
I feel like I need a nickname. Noah McGee is kind of okay.
Noah Big Dog McGee.
Why about your middle name?
We ain't gonna say that. Okay, well, we
can't
get people everything now, bro. Come on now.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, let's get through headlines because you guys, I've been teasing this episode for a minute. This is a Justin Bieber Justice review, and we have a lot to say about it. You just wait. But first, we have a couple headlines. Freddie Gibbs starring in the new movie Down with the King. Who wants to tell me about this? Avery? Was it Avery Link? Noah Link?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I have not heard of this filmmaker, but it's written and directed by Diego Ongaro, and it's about a rapper who retires. So Freddie Gibbs is I'm sure will play that role with a lot of experience under his belt. And also he made the music for it. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool. Freddie Gibbs is someone who's become like more popular, I guess, over the last year, and so it's cool to see like his star keep shining and going on.
You know who they should have casted for this?
Who?
They should have casted Khalees, because that's a whole ass rapper who retired to go focus on a farm. She's the one who I think has the farm and like is now doing farm products and like. You know, I do like this. I will say I like this plot. It seems like it'll be easy for Freddie Gibbs to.
Well, hopefully it's hilarious, because Freddie Gibbs is one of the most hilarious people on social media in general.
It doesn't feel like it's a comedy. I feel like this is
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's just like, I just hope there's a couple funny moments, because he's an hilarious guy. But he's been through some stuff. Like, I remember he almost went to jail, like in Europe and stuff like that. Like, he got accused of like rape and everything, but he was able to beat that case and stuff like that. Like, all kinds of crazy stuff has happened. So I'm interested. It's interesting. I want to see him get deep like this, like, you know, as acting, his acting chops. You know, it's interesting.
Definitely.
So he's finally getting his flowers.
Just do.
And I say he's gonna get a Grammy and an Oscar now. I'm out of it.
I still think he should have got the album, but I definitely get Nas. I get Nas getting it.
Nas got the Lifetime Achievement Award, but
for sure. That album was good though.
It was good. It was
Nas didn't want to come because they didn't even do a thing for that.
Yeah, they didn't. They announced it way before the whole thing. That would have been kind of cool if they did it during like the actual show we saw. But
it's actually kind of, we should have dug in on that a little bit more.
Speaking
of
Nas,
honoring some of the greats. Ooh, no, we were both in the same place though. We were both in the same place.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that Congress did this, but they have a national recording registry, the Library of Congress, and they update it with like classic prolific songs. And I messed up the name of this before. Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 is on it. Nas's album is on it. A couple songs from Patti.
Which album?
Kermit the Frog. The whole squad. Some of the greats are in it.
That's interesting. I wonder what
it's Illmatic.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I wonder what it takes to like. Do you get nominated? Do people just decide? Like, what's the process?
Because the records were deemed worthy of preservation for all time based on their cultural, historical, or aesthetic importance in the nation's recorded sound heritage.
For some reason, the people who are behind the Library of Congress, I feel like, don't deserve that much power. I don't know why.
Because I think it's like the librarian that drives it. I read another article that said the librarian picked X amount of songs for it. Because that is really cool to be able to say, okay, these are the songs that we think define our culture. So we're gonna
Yeah, I guess that's fair too, because I've seen a lot of these, like obviously the Pulitzer, giving like Kendrick a Pulitzer is ridiculous, and then this happening, and then you've seen like rap artists going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and stuff like that. It's interesting.
I do find it interesting that none of the songs are new. Like you have to last like what's this expression? You have to last something of time.
And that's fair.
Might be the most recent thing on here.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's like 27 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because a lot of people say, well, where's a Drake song? And it feels like Drake's gonna be popular forever.
Has not been deemed worthy of preservation.
I mean, it feels like Drake's gonna be popular forever. That's what it feels like right now at the moment. But Drake's gonna get old one day.
What about the Beatles in the '60s? And Drake wasn't.
That's true.
So, I mean,
well, actually, don't he have a song?
We're not doing that.
You gotta. What's the line? You gotta lie about that.
He says, "I got more slaps than the Beatles."
I got more slaps than the Beatles. Can think about the fame of the Beatles. Like I don't think it's something you can like.
Yeah.
Vision. Okay, and this is the last cool one. The Weeknd has new music coming soon, but he's releasing his NFT, which is the music industry's newest craze.
It's the thing that rich people have deemed we should care about.
And again, in a sentence, an NFT is. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
He's reading this right now off Google
now. I'm gonna do this right off the cuff.
He's reading this off Google right now.
Non-fungible token, right? Yeah. Which is a digital currency that you can use to purchase some like art or something of artistic.
The art is the token.
The art is the token.
Yes.
And this token has a digital blockchain that you get when you purchase this token.
I think you download it onto your blockchain.
Okay. So what are you downloading onto the blockchain?
The NFT.
I thought the NFT was the blockchain.
I don't think so. I'm not entirely sure what a blockchain is, but I know like you have one, and that's how you purchase an NFT.
I need to like buy something on NFTs so I can like.
Oh, you got that kind of cash, bro?
Conceptualize how this works, but like the Weeknd's, he's really.
Nnamdi, you should buy a Josh Okogie layup on Top Shot.
Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
As an NFT, I'd do that.
Oh, it's not an NFT. It's basically the sports version of that.
They're like digital trading cards.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a moment. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's really interesting in all facets, whether it's music, sports, everything, or just regular. Like there's just one of Pharrell walking. Remember that? Y'all saw that one? Remember that one we talked about? It's just like, oh, okay.
Jack Dorsey sold his very first tweet as an NFT for like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'm still confused, like why people even buy
Grimes released an entire collection of digital art through NFT and ended up making $6 million in a day. That's insane. My thing is like, I just want to know what makes people say this is worth this much money to me. Like this. Look
at Ja Rule still making money off of Fire.
Oh yeah, he did a Fire Fest NFT. He did a Fire Festival NFT. Yeah.
It's like if I own Grimes' entire music thing that she released and I have the NFT, let's say if that's on streaming services, do I then get all of the?
No.
I mean, we need to talk to an NFT expert or a musicologist, which is a industry.
Honestly,
I'm so down.
Honestly, I don't even feel like they understand it. They're like, I guess that's how it works. I guess
studies this. I just need to know. And by the way, we don't know what song The Weeknd's releasing. He says it's going to be the After Hours era. That era is not over yet, according to April.
Yeah, I hope you think it's gonna be a new. Oh yeah, he said new song. I hope it's not another remix, the 60th remix off this album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've all been great.
No, they haven't all been great.
You know,
yeah, they've been good. They've been cool because the songs are good, but.
Speaking of having all been great, so a whole bunch of new releases this week.
Damn.
We have some albums of El Dorado, 24K Gold, and Soulfly, Broadway's debut album, which is set to debut at number 1. Fun fact. We have Justice. You have that there.
The Triple Deluxe. Chucks Deluxe.
The Triple Chucks Deluxe.
Yeah, the album came out last week, but yeah.
Okay, and trust me, we're giving you a whole review on Justice, so we can just skip over that one for now. And then I guess the really big thing, also some songs, Call Me By Your Name, Montero by Lil Nas X, in that eye-catching video, which we decided to not include as a headline. And you all over me, Taylor Swift, Maren Morris, and Brockhampton. Oh, Buzzcut. Okay, sorry, I've named half of them. I have to list at this point. What did y'all listen to?
I already know what Avery's first thing is. Just say it.
This Brockhampton song is so good.
It is fire though.
It was good.
I think like they've kind of struggled to find their voice after Amir was rightfully kicked out of the group. But if they're doing features now, I think this is like, I don't know. I haven't heard them really do features before, especially like big name features like Danny Brown. And so if this is the direction they're going in, I am very, very, very okay with it.
That is a good point because her albums usually don't have features, just them.
There's so many of them.
Because there's 12 of them, but I agree. Amir Van was often like the standout, and that first album after him was kind of like them getting their footing without him. Because even though I agree he was rightfully kicked out the group, but
like Iridescence was cool and Ginger was cool.
Yeah. But there was some, like, you know, you were kind of expecting a verse from, because he was, for a lot of people, he was a standout guy.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was the main guy, like, because to me it's Kevin Abstract.
He was a good rapper.
Yeah.
You know,
it always felt like there was something missing on those last two. So
exactly. Yeah. So hopefully that'd be cool if they had like a feature on every song. That'd be kind of dope, actually.
Yeah, that would
with
be
like
cool.
The whole group and like that'd be kind of dope.
I think they've earned it at this point. They've never had features, so.
Exactly, I agree. So I totally agree.
What else? What else do we listen to on here?
I listened, actually, surprisingly, late last night, I listened to just Biabadoobie. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It was cool. I liked her album from 2020. That was a good album.
Well, so she's coming out with another one now, she announced. So.
Oh wow, she's the next Brockhampton. Remember they released like 3 albums in a year? Remember they did that?
Check out our
or like
top alternative albums of 2020 episode if you're interested in seeing our thoughts on Biabadoobie's project.
I don't know if it made it, but it was close. It was like top 10 for sure, like in terms of us like, you know, picking. It was a cool song, so I enjoyed that also. The Lil Nas X song, we got to talk about it. I like that song.
Good.
It was cool. Yeah,
I enjoyed it for like close to a year now, I think. So he finally came out with it.
I honestly thought the song was out, but I realized I just had heard
it's every snippet
so much on like different Twitter videos.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like he's found his footing. like in terms of like what he wants to do sound wise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't even feel like this is him finding his footing because I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I can hear a Lil Nas X song and know it's a Lil Nas X song. Like they all kind of have a similar cadence or I don't know, like structure maybe.
All I'm saying is like he's getting more comfortable because obviously that first little EP project or whatever, it was like him and people were like, I just know him as the Old Town Road guy, and people got to see him past that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously that song's super successful, but you don't want to be stuck with that song forever. Right. You don't want the song to be bigger than you. It probably is.
And apparently this is the lead off of his upcoming album. Did y'all watch the video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's creative. He's a creative dude. He's a very out there guy, and I like it. I think it kind of sets him apart.
He's one of the funniest people on social media too. Another funny social media artist out there. He's hilarious. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And I just feel like even if you don't like the video or you think it's too much, there's never for me denying the artistry of someone, and like you have to have a mind to think of that video.
Yeah.
You have to have a really strong sense of creative direction to know that that's what you want to do. And I can appreciate that and look forward to seeing what else comes out of that mind.
You can appreciate something without liking it, So
yeah, and I'm not even saying I dislike it. I'm just saying, generally speaking, it's just like I think it was a really strong creative visual, and like it was one that got everyone talking, which ultimately was the goal of like a video for a song.
Yeah,
of course.
I listened to this Dancing with the Devil, Demi Lovato. I think that was about
How was that?
It wasn't bad. I think she's always been a really strong vocalist, but it was the subject matter is kind of tough.
She's coming out with a documentary too.
The day this came out, and then Lil Nas X's video came out, and like the top 2 trending things was Devil and Satan on Twitter.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like,
that's funny.
Conservative Twitter is in shambles right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I listened to much more other than what we've talked about.
Yeah, I
don't listen to this Taylor thing, but I know it's part of the Fairless re-recording.
Yeah, I want to listen to that Glass Animals because I love that album from last year. Avery put us on, so I want to listen to that. I haven't got a chance.
Best pop of 2020 for our alternative.
Best pop. No, we did a pop one, just pop. We did just a pop. Yeah, best pop. Yeah, we did it just pop one. Yeah. Yeah. Glass Animals was.
I think I'm the reason Glass Animals didn't make it.
Or it's Glass Animals alternative.
Looking back, I'm like, were they alternative?
We don't need to go through our alternative list.
Okay.
Avery's still mad about that.
So you guys, here we are, and I want to note the time. We try to just we have 45 minutes for this, hit our hour goal, and we're gonna need every single 45 minutes. Today we are reviewing Justin Bieber's recent album, newest album, 2021 release, Justice. And I'm just gonna preface this with how Justin Bieber introduced this album to us.
Oh, whoa. Wrong one. Not yet.
I'm like, if you could get the audio to work on that, I was like, that honestly may be the better start.
Nah, man. Let's give it.
I can get the audio to work.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, let's do this. Let's read this first. Let's give it a proper intro. Yeah.
So Justin Bieber introduced his album Justice to us in a Twitter thread. In which he said, in a time where there's so much wrong with this broken planet, we all crave healing and justice for humanity. Absolutely, Justin. In creating this album, my goal is to make music that will provide comfort, to make songs that people can relate to and connect to so they feel less alone. Suffering, injustice, and pain can leave people feeling helpless. Music is a great way of reminding each other that we aren't alone. Music can be a great way to relate to one another and connect with one another. I know that I cannot simply solve injustice by making music, but I do know that if we all do our part by using our gifts to serve this planet and each other, that we are that much closer to being united. This is me doing a small part, my part, and I want to continue the conversation of what justice looks like so we can continue to heal. And Justin Bieber promised to deliver us that justice on March 19th with this album cover of him sitting in what looks like a tunnel. Just looking stressed for the world.
Promised to cure racism.
Promised to just fix the injustice in the world. So okay, when this plan was announced, I believe I sent this to our group chat, and I was like, "What the hell is Justin Bieber doing?"
I was like, "Why is he trying to be Kurt Cobain with this album cover, bro?" Like,
no. I want you to say your line that you always say, "I steal," because this is when you deliver that line.
Yeah, when I saw this and I read this thread, I was like, "This really feels like Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial vibes with her hand. Well, you know, with when she let's you know, in the commercial she handed the police they were protesting, and she handed the police a Pepsi bottle. That commercial's hilarious too, and the whole crowd went crazy, started dancing. It was like racism is over essentially. So yeah.
And she was universally panned because it was like the idea that you can say, oh, this Pepsi can will heal like whatever division exists is just ignorant. It was
a slap in the face for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Justin Bieber, and I've been really big, and we've had differing opinions on this that we're gonna get into. But Justin Bieber introducing this album, Justice, which if you stop there, the word justice right now is so charged. After what happened last summer, after this the year we've had.
What's going on right now? The trial right now.
What's going on right now? The trial of George Floyd. We just had the Capitol insurrection. Like, justice is a very strong word right now. It has a ton of meaning. So to take that and put it on an album cover, then promise to heal injustice, just know that the bar was super high. The bar for you, the threshold for you to be able to do this, especially, and I'm going to say it, but especially as a white artist who in the past has had his own racial incidents, like, the bar was higher for you to sell me on your album Justice. That's how I feel. And boy, did this album not do that.
Well, I don't know if I would necessarily just say my expectations were high, like that I was expecting something super deep. I wouldn't say that. Well, I guess expectations are two things. It's not like you were saying I expected the album to be great. You're saying you expected like
I expected him to live up to what he told us he was going to give us.
Well, even if he, which he didn't, but even if he was like talking about some deep stuff, it's not like I necessarily loved it. I just wanted, I guess my expectations in a different way. Like what I was expecting was like something in him talk about his experiences and like, I don't know how he's dealt with like, you know, what the things he's done in the past and stuff like that. He's had little lines, but.
Right.
But like how he feels about racism and what's going on in the world, and he just didn't. That's how like I didn't expect it to be like amazing. I was like I expected something, but
I just expected him to make me feel less alone and make me feel better about.
Okay, let's stop. You
no,
did not
because
expect.
That's what he told me he was going to give me. So
okay,
we're giving both sides here. So Avery,
you really expected that for real?
Like how he did get the cosign of Martin Luther King, who was actually featured on this album.
Yeah, so there's a couple hot features on the album from a Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Don't use the word hot feature and Martin Luther King.
No, I like that though because that's how they're used. No, Avery.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
So there's two, right? There's one at the very beginning of the first track, which is an excerpt from his letter from Birmingham jail, which is one of the most famous letters of all time. And then there's one later called the MLK Interlude, which is from a lesser known speech about religion and how it relates to the social justice movement. That's what the Justice album title Twitter thread led to, right? It feels very tacked on, I think we can all say.
Justin Bieber is a Christian. Remember, he canceled his tour for his Christian, to deal,
right?
His religion.
And he has a song called Holy on here, so.
Exactly.
But that also led to the day the album came out, Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., went on Twitter. I think they did a video together, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm misremembering. But anyways, she thanked Justin Bieber for supporting the King Center and the Be Love campaign. Because he, which I don't think I have the tweets here, but he had said he donated to a bunch of different organizations centered around social justice. I couldn't find the actual number, which, whether that matters or not, up to you. But he did, I guess, direct awareness towards these organizations and donate money to them for what it's worth. Whether it matters and whether, it was a good attempt at whatever he was doing is up to, I'm sure we'll discuss in a few minutes, but I guess that's the background behind the Justice name and Twitter thread, and I guess maybe what he was trying to do.
Avery, can I ask you again? You just said this. When did Bernice say that? It was the day before the album came out?
I want to say it was the day the album either like the day it came out or in the lead up, like a couple days leading up to it, the 19th.
I hate that my brain is so cynical. I hate that I'm like this, truly. But I can't stop seeing the step by step of how this feels like it could have been the album was coming out. Oh, we're already getting some review for being, tone deaf. Let's get the Bernice King cosign. I may not have been that. He may have planned on donating the whole time.
I don't know that she would have just done that though.
That's true. That's true.
I don't
I'm
know
not
that
gonna
you
assume.
could
I'm
have
not gonna
like
speculate.
had her just say that just to say it, you know. And she's not thanking for the album, by the way. She's thanking for his donations to the King Center and the support of their campaign, which I think is an important distinction.
Exactly.
Okay, that's true, and I'm happy we have that background. But here's how I'm gonna start this review. The minute you start playing this album, the first thing you hear is "Injustice Anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." One of Martin Luther King's most famous quotes. It comes from a letter from Birmingham jail, which those of you, proficient in Black history, that letter was written while King was arrested after protesting, urging police and I believe it was other churches that there wasn't time to wait. People needed to advocate, voice, take action, use direct action to reform the system that existed, to bring justice to the court system, to no longer treat Black people as outsiders. That's how the threat "Injustice Anywhere" that's how the quote "Injustice Anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere" came. It was this significant, strongly worded letter talking about a Black man being in jail unfairly after protesting for basic equal rights, the end of racial segregation and racism in Alabama, by the way, and being arrested and being told he needed to wait. And being told, hey, he needs to just, take things slowly. Martin Luther King is kind of shaking the system too much.
Well,
that's the context.
Well, was it out of line using the quote and everything?
Well, I'm gonna get there, but I'm just like, that was the context of this quote of the letter from Birmingham jail. So you sample that on your album, and the first words of the actual song is, maybe I stare too much, maybe not long enough. Funny how I forget to blink when you let down your hair, dancing like no one's there. I know where I'm supposed to be.
That's kind of funny.
It is such a, for me,
disconnect,
a contradiction. Just like it's just like to use such a powerful quote and then introduce me to a love song. It's not like you use this quote, then it was Justin Bieber's version of All Right. It was like.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rollout before we get into the album a little bit, because
was there anything else with the rollout that we missed?
I'm talking about like the whole thing behind it, like in terms of like Justin Bieber. Did this feel really performative? Was it warranted? Should he have done this?
Well, yeah, no, and I feel like that's what we're talking about, because with me, that's what I'm saying. It's like just off the cuff, that's what you're introduced to, and I can't help but to not notice that.
Well, I want to say this. I kind of feel like, him giving money is a great thing to organizations. It's a great thing. So I'm not going to get mad at him, because like I've said this before, like a lot of celebrities, Black, white, whatever, are philanthropic for, personal gain, or like, for their image, obviously. So, so they can look good. So I'm not like going to come at him for that. But I agree with Nnamdi in the fact that like, okay, the times we're living in. You call the album Justice. It's not like, oh, that's what I was feeling. It's like, no, because would you call this album Justice if what was going on was going on? I highly, highly doubt it. And it just feels, I agree with Nnamdi, it feels really performative that like, hey, you call it Justice and there was nothing on there. Like, even though I'm not trying to get anything Justice-y from Justin Bieber anyway, if he did that, but he didn't even try. He was like, oh, I'm gonna call it Justice, right, and then give you a bunch of love songs. And then and then that's the thing. Artists kind of set themselves when they tell you like, hey, this is what you're gonna expect from this album. He's like, I expect this album to heal the word about what's going on. You're talking about your wife the whole time. It's like, bro, come on.
It feels like he had an album that were all these love songs about his wife, and then someone along the way was like, hey, we can capitalize off this movement. We can make some money off of this. And then they're like, let's throw some MLK quotes in there. Let's make it a little deep, and then we can sell it.
Put a name to that person. We know exactly who it is.
It's look, and I'm not gonna say Scooter Braun did this alone, but I'm gonna say he probably had a big influence in it.
He's the mastermind.
Y'all, to me, it's like, I don't understand how to even begin articulating how tone deaf and ignorant this whole thing is.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to form the words. I struggle to put it. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm really struggling to put everything into perspective.
I think if there's anything that should come out of this, and I would urge our listeners to do their own research here. we like are taught in elementary school and high school and all that a very surface level understanding of who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is.
Yeah.
Right? We have a very over the last 60 years, his message and who he was as a person has become very watered down and very spoon-fed to people. Yeah. So if there's anything that comes from this, I would urge people to do their own research and try and like have a full understanding of who he actually was.
He was a more nuanced person than people, give him credit for.
Radical person than we were all led to taught. Absolutely. Read his speeches about the Vietnam War, about class and race, that's who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is.
Okay, Professor DeLaw here.
I'm just saying, and we were talking about this yesterday. This doesn't bother me as much as it bothers Nnamdi. And I don't disagree with anything Nnamdi's saying. I completely agree with everything. But I think, especially over the last year, so many people who do not deserve to invoke Dr. King's name have used it. The very same people who are legislating against his principles are using it. Even this past week on The View, you had Meghan McCain use his name to put down Black people. So I think, to me, it's and I understand, again, I don't disagree with anything Nnamdi's saying. I actually completely agree with everything Nnamdi's saying.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna come back swinging because
I know
I needed.
I agree with you. I just like and maybe I'm just numb to it.
In the bigger picture.
Yeah, in the bigger picture, maybe I'm just numb to it at this point. To me, it's like, okay, at least you donated money. It's like,
no, I definitely
I feel like for me, and I told this. So fun fact, we had a pre-discussion about this album, and I'm really happy we did, because my response to that would be, it almost feels worse to me.
This
worse than invoking MLK's name in a political argument, which is what they did in Georgia. Rather, they were trying to restrict voting. You had people quoting MLK. Like, I agree. It's horrible when a politician does it for negative reasons. But to package MLK and use his name and use his invoke his voice on an album not related at all to what he stood for, not even closely tied to anything political, not even trying to really take the true meaning of what he's saying, to package that just to sell an album. And that's just why I get almost mad about this.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Everything for me. I can't stop thinking about the year we've had over the last year, how tense we are, how race is still such a hot topic, how it's still so divisive for some reason. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, all of that is in the backdrop of where we are right now. And to say I'm gonna have an album called Justice, meant to discuss the injustice and make you feel left alone and make you feel more humane about the world we're in, to try to sell and commodify MLK's voice is almost worse to me than just invoking his name for your political argument. Because this is you trying to capitalize off of a movement and off of a time we're in and off of a civil rights legend to sell an album that is in no way connected to any of those things. And that to me is the most tone deaf, most infuriating thing about this. And it's why it's a hard stop with this album. I don't care how good the music is. When I have to look at this being called Justice, I think about the fact that you're profiting off of MLK and you think that, because I donated money to Bernice King's campaign, it's all good. Like, I've done my part because I'm telling my fans, hey, go tweet at this, because I'm doing this now when I'm releasing my album, when I probably haven't done it before at a time where, I'm not promoting something. It's okay. I'm absolved of this, I'm preempting the criticism. And it's like, no, you're not. Bernice King's sign off does nothing for me. It doesn't change the way I feel about this album, because it doesn't change the fact that you, Justin Bieber, and I'm saying this because race is important, not because I'm making it about race. Race is a theme here. You, a white man with a checkered history, no matter how young you were, of saying racist comments in the past, decided, hey, to promote my next album in 2021, I'm going to call it Justice, say it's going to be my gift to the world, and have it be all love songs about my wife featuring MLK. And that's why I read the quote, because you can't talk about MLK without connecting it to the history. That's why I'm saying, hey, this quote's from Letter from Birmingham Jail is important. That's why I'm saying, hey, the MLK interlude is from a speech he was giving at a church in Atlanta, Georgia, about civil rights, about all that stuff. All of that is connected here. And for me, it makes this album a complete non-starter. The last thing I'm going to do before I shut up, because I don't want to skip over this article I brought in from the Washington Post, and I feel like they articulated it the way I probably just couldn't.
Well, can I say something real quickly before you get to that?
Absolutely.
Just to respond to what you said real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to say it's worse than like the political stuff, because what people do in terms of non-voting, that actually affects people's lives, and how people, affects people's day to day, and like how people live in this country. Justin Bieber isn't affecting how, your average, if we're talking about Georgia or anything like that, how your average American or, even like African Americans living, obviously with like with like their album. It's annoying. It's like performative. It's all those things you said. I'm just not going to say it's worse than like Brian Kemp saying something, because that is actually affecting.
I'm gonna be clear.
But I'm saying that's actually negatively affecting American lives as we speak.
I know, but I want to be clear.
Actively affecting American lives.
We don't know that Brian Kemp has ever quit. I'm okay. We're assuming. So I just.
Yeah, I'm saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying
politicians have done it. So it's like when his platform does it, immediately it's more noticeable. So
for sure. Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying when political figures like do it, and I'm not saying Brian, I just said it because he's from Georgia, but like when people do it, like, and they're doing it, to do something wrong or negatively affect their community or something like that, that's actively affecting community. Justin Bieber's not negatively affecting the black community by doing this. He's that's what I'm saying.
He's certainly profiting. But...
He's definitely profiting, and that could be seen as negative. But it's just like when politicians who really hold our lives in their hands, in a sense, it's like when they do something like that, it's a lot scarier to me. In the bigger picture, like kind of like what Avery's saying, in the bigger picture, it's a lot scarier to me. But Justin Bieber, when him doing it, it's just like, bro, really?
This seems like similar to like Virgil Abloh donating $50.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, it's like okay,
like I did it, so you should too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, he donated money, but it's like, really, that's all. It's not gonna kill us, but it's like, bro, really, really, bro, you 2 Virgils that's all you got.
I personally feel that you guys are letting JB off the hook too easily.
Maybe I am. I mean, I'll admit, maybe I am, but.
And it's fine. I just feel like this is one of those things that if you don't address it when this first person does it, you're gonna see copycat efforts. And I'm like, this to me, the line should be drawn that this is worse in my opinion than Virgil Abloh. Profiting off of justice and the moment we're in, that will always make your album a non-starter for me.
But let me say this.
That's what needs to be decisively said, because this is exploited. This is exploitative. And that's why I say I think this is worse than when people just invoke MLK's name in an argument.
I got you too.
Exploiting his name and movement to sell an album. And that's like...
I'm not letting him off the hook. I guess I don't know, because this is not new. A bunch of white artists coming out speaking and talking about, hey, I care about justice now during
point to one, because this is new to me. Point to anyone, and
like an album. That's a good point.
Done something like this.
That's true.
Anyone, white, black, anyone who has made an album, called it, given it a politically charged name, included samples to a civil rights legend, and then proceeded to have an album that's nothing about any of that.
I agree. I'm with you. I'm kind of in the middle, because like Avery's like, in the bigger picture, we're talking about life. Avery's like, a politician can affect you more, but like in general, like him doing this, he's profiting off this movement, which he wouldn't have done before. It's like, it feels kind of really performative. Like I've said that word a lot. So I'm honestly on both sides. Like in the bigger picture, it's not going to affect my life every day. I'm not going to think about it, more than I'm thinking about what politicians are doing. But it's like, this man really did this. Like honestly, like Morgan Wallen, Morgan Wallen saying the N-word, doesn't affect my day to day. But it's like, you gotta like, there's a line you have to draw. It's not affecting my day. I'm not thinking about this all the time. Justin Bieber, what he did, I'm like, this is really stupid. I can't believe he got away with this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He might not.
All right, we gotta get to.
Let me read this Washington Post.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's do this as a segue.
Yeah.
Because it'll take us back to the opening of this album.
Yeah.
And I think they said this well. Justice begins with a clip of MLK quoting letter from Birmingham jail, right? And doubles down in the middle with a recorded excerpt of one of King's sermons, the latter bound on each side by odes to Haley, including one about how he would die for her. MLK would die for the vote. Haley would die, Justin Bieber would die for Haley. It's impossible to overstate just how unwise this is, how unthinkable that none of the album's dozens of collaborators were able to talk Bieber out of such tone-deaf foolishness. I want to continue the conversation of what justice looks like so we can continue to heal, Bieber tweeted, though justice holds no such conversation. That's my exact thoughts about it. And since I think we've been arguing too much about whether or not he was right or wrong, I think that's like the most objective way I can say I feel about.
None of us think he was right. I mean,
nobody thinks he was right. Yeah, I think I
agree with that
totally.
Varying levels of
how angry we are.
Issue with it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I have an issue with it. It's just like
No, we all have issues with it. I just don't.
I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we all agree that it's tone deaf, but how upset we should get about it being tone deaf, or how much you feel needs to be called out, is what varies.
Well, I believe he should be called out too. He needs to be called out. He needs to be called out.
Because again, like in my eyes, this is worse than a politician just using him MLK in a speech. Yeah, it's using, but they're not packaging and commodifying him to sell a product.
Good point. Hey.
And that's like, I feel like that's the driving home point for me to say, don't do this. Like, do not do this.
Oh yeah, do not do this.
But the thing is, if enough people don't do that, then you're gonna see copycat efforts. Then it's gonna be 6 months. We're like, damn, y'all see that new album Protest?
Who is the next pop artist that's most likely to do this?
I can't think of anyone other than Justin Bieber who would do this.
You know what's so crazy?
Better PR teams.
You know who's crazy? And she just released the album too the same day. Lana Del Rey. I was like, she might would do some crap like this.
Chet Hanks would do something like this.
Okay. Crazy. Okay.
Crazy.
Let's get some music. Let's get some music, because although we have very strong thoughts about. No. We got to get to it, because then people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you just talked about.
Let's get to it.
No. So. Yeah.
What did you guys think about the album itself?
First listen.
The
First
music
listen
itself. First listen.
Who wants to go
okay,
first?
well, I was pissed because it's not a bad album. Okay, and I want to say that's what fuels so much of my anger. It's actually a very good pop album. I'm happy Justin Bieber returned to his pop roots. The songs all sound good. The features are great. There are some songs on here that like probably will last what is that expression? Last the something of time. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Last the test of time.
Test of time.
There's some of these songs that are gonna last the test of time because they're great. And I'm not sure there's that many skips other than MLK interlude and the first half of Too Much. Other than that, like,
it's not first half, first 10 seconds.
That's just why I just don't get, I'm sorry, I'm not going back, but like it's a good album, right? It's a good album. I'll give him that.
I actually disagree with you about the features. I don't think the features are that good at all.
Really?
I think Peaches has like the best features.
Peaches is the only yeah, exactly.
I like Untitled featuring Khalid, and then I did once I found out that Unstable wasn't Post Malone, I liked that. On that.
Yeah, we were all a little shocked about that one. The Kid Laroi sounds almost exactly like Post Malone.
Can I say which feature I don't like, but it's been out so long that I've just had to accept it?
What?
I don't think I like Chance on Holy.
It's one of his worst verses. It's
terrible. Like, and then he's like the third. He's like the bridge. He's not even the second verse. He's like the.
I'm not gonna say it's his worst verse because he released a whole album of bad verses. So let's not.
This is up there.
I don't know. That album was terrible.
Big Day level cringe.
Right? Okay, but Big Day sounded terrible. This song is just annoying, and he sounds okay. I'm saying.
But like, let me say, like again, to the testament of how much I like how much the album I think was strong. Mm-hmm. If you called it Justin or Haley gave me a Twitter thread about how I'm making this about the beautiful wife that I love that changed my life.
Yeah, I definitely would have totally
exact same songs, sans MLK mentions. This probably would have been a contender for album of the year. It was like it's a very
At
least best pop vocal at the Grammys. At least that.
It get nominated for sure.
It's a good album. Like I don't think there's any songs that are objectively bad. Deserve You, banger. Peaches, don't get me started. Like, it has its strengths, but to me, I'm so turned off by everything else surrounding it that I can't even get into that.
Let's get into the album. Let's get into the album because we're talking about, we talk about all this other stuff. We talk about Deserve You.
I did Peaches. Too much already in the beginning.
I know we already talked about Deserve You and Peaches and everything. We don't have to go exact order. We just kind of talked about how Deserve You is a really good song. Obviously, we're saying like Deserve You is, to me, it's the best song on there. On the album, it's the one I enjoy the most. It has a great hook. He sounds great on there. He's singing great.
He sounds great on there. Well, how did you feel about the intro song though? Too Much. How do you feel about the first song you hear when you press play?
It was cool. I was really like, and there's kind of like thoughts on like how I feel about the whole album in general. Like the songs that I really liked, I really did like. But it's like I would agree. I want to say every song's like this the song that's like just god awful, like terrible, like oh my gosh, this is trash. But to me, and I told Avery this before, like, he's not the greatest singer. He's not a great singer. He's an okay singer. So it's like his voice doesn't stand out for me. Like, and people are like, wait, but there's pop artists who make poppy, like Ariana Grande. I was like, yeah, but Ariana Grande has an exceptional voice. She has an exceptional, so her voice can carry something. Justin Bieber, he has a really plain voice. It's not like he's not a bad singer, but he's not an amazing singer. So he's okay. His lyrics are like, he don't have like if I were talking about other singers like Phoebe Bridgers, I was saying she has a great amazing lyrics.
Who's a male artist you think does it?
Has a lot of times that has great lyrics. The Weeknd
is a great singer.
A great singer. Oh, I think Daniel Caesar and Giveon were on here. They have amazing voices. They have great voices. They were just standouts on the song.
Giveon deserved like 30 more seconds on that song.
Exactly.
It's so short. His feature.
Exactly. So they're amazing singers right there. I'm saying I'm not talking about. It doesn't matter. Weeknd has amazing lyrics. If we're talking about male artists
too. Khalid's a good singer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, there's no bad songs on here. It's just the songs that I was like really like.
What did you guys like? What did you guys like about this album?
I'm not sure I can say, the songwriting fine, written to be clear that each song, is written about someone in mind. I think I like the production the most in these albums. A lot of these albums just sound and feel very, very good.
Like the 80s kind of sound on this one?
I love the 80s, like Peaches. I don't even know what era that is, but I love the vibe that it gives me. It gives me very much like summer passion fruit, like windows down. Like this,
passion fruit.
Wait, this guy's gave you 80s pop vibes?
There's some 80s pop like what sounds on here.
Like what? What songs?
Die for You.
Come on, this sounds like.
No, I feel like maybe anyone maybe.
He doesn't do the 80s thing as good as The Weeknd did, but like there's definitely like 80s sounds on here. There's like synth pop.
No, I think there is. Yeah.
I didn't hear that at all. This sounds like
there's literally synths on Die for You.
Okay, just because there's synths on there, but it doesn't.
And it's like synth pop. It's like 80s pop.
Oh my gosh! Just because there's synths on there, it's not taking
like,
it far enough.
It's like but it's like 80s like inspired music.
I got you. I'm just saying it doesn't give me that feel at all. This sounds really typical, and this is okay. It's not a bad thing. This all sounds very typical pop music. I know I use that word often, but this sounds very typical, plain, and some of the songs are good. The songs that
to Avery's point,
it sounds plain to me.
To Avery's point, I feel to do pop now, right? You have to do it really well because pop isn't really the popular genre right now. So you have to have an album that's decisively like. For us to notice, at least, you have to come out with an album full of like bangers that also like is melodic, that also has good enough songwriting to keep me engaged. I.e., why the only pop albums we really cared about last year were like Dua Lipa and then whatever made the other of our top 5 list,
Weeknd.
Right? Like honestly,
both those albums.
Justin Bieber, this is a strong enough pop album from a production standpoint alone to keep me listening because all the songs sound good. And to Avery's point, it does vary in styles. There is definitely some. If Weeknd pop-ish is better, that's how I would define it, because it is like 80s synthy, like The Weeknd kind of has been dominating. Then there's other songs that are more just like your typical pop, like guitar, Ed Sheeran-esque songs, like Off My Face. I like that song a lot. That's what that reminds me of.
Avery loves that song.
And yeah, like I think there's enough variety to keep someone entertained.
I also like some of his lyrics on here. Not all of them are like amazing, but I think he like the last song. What is it?
Oh Lord, I knew you were going to.
No, not Lonely. Was it?
Oh,
is it Loved by You? Anyone?
I love
one of these. He gets me like the song's not as good as POV by Ariana Grande, but like the way he's like singing about how like he was in a really low place when they started dating, and like she loved it. I think was it Anyone? One of these. Yeah, it reminded me of POV, where it's like but I think like by the time we got to this point of the album, he had so many songs that were like about that. Where I was like, yeah, I get it.
Well, if you talk about the content of the album, all the songs are about, I believe, literally all of them, with the exception of like maybe Peaches, are about Haley, right?
Right.
That's what I feel.
Even the MLK quotes end up being.
Yes, they are. They are about Haley.
Yeah, he's saying he'll die. Marlon in the MLK interlude, we gotta say, he was talking about basically dying for what you believe in. He's saying, "I die."
And then the next song there was the wife.
Die for you. So exactly, I'll die for you, Haley. Is what he's saying essentially. So
are we kidding right now? Are we kidding? Okay, sorry.
It's very narcissistic. It's
now we got to talk about this too, because this is something that was a holy. This is
I think you're talking about Anyone. I think that's the song you're talking about.
I think it's Anyone. But we got to talk about Holy, because that was the single. Was that the first single off this? That was the first single off this. And people were like, "What's he doing here?"
Was he, or was it Hold On? Holy. Lonely. It was one of those two.
If it was, I don't remember.
There's 5 singles out from this album right now.
If it was, I don't remember. But the one that
Holy, Lonely, Anyone, Hold On, and Peaches are all singles.
Okay, look, on September release, Holy was a lead single. That's what it says right there on Genius. Yeah, well, let's read, guys. Come on, reading. But Holy, to me, I know Avery has strong thoughts about that and everything. Honestly, I don't hate the song. I don't think it's. Avery thinks it's terrible. Avery thinks
I hate it. I really do hate it.
I don't think it's terrible. Like, I don't think it's terrible. It's a little corny. Like, run into the altar like a track. It feels really like And you know it's so crazy because don't tell me why I know. Actually, I know this. Shout out to DC Samara. I know this because they did a little thing on that pastor. That's Justin Bieber's pastor. He's like a hippie pastor that wears like Supreme and all streetwear stuff and skinny jeans and stuff like that. It feels really like that. You know, that white church where you wear casual clothing, you wear jeans, and you have coffee while you're eating and stuff like that. And they were playing guitars, and it's like it feels really like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually ridiculously accurate.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like, which is fine because that's Justin Bieber's lane. He is a Christian. He's a devout Christian. He said that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't get mad at him for doing it. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, what does that have to do with the song?
I think the song's okay. I think the song's okay.
Christian has nothing to do with the song because the song isn't about religion or Christianity. The entire thing is an analogy for his relationship.
Yeah, but he also says I'm running to the altar like a track. So I'm saying like, I get it, but I'm saying I think it's fine. If people hate the Justin Bieber and the Chance the rapper feature, and I mean, what's so terrible about it? Because he's not spinning hard,
I don't hate the Chance feature. I just feel like Chance is coming off an era where he was sort of banned for focusing on like his wife and being a corny rapper, and this was just a corny verse.
No,
it wasn't bad, but it was very much so a typical Chance the Rapper verse.
And that's the thing. We hated Chance's album not because he was talking about his wife, because it sounded terrible. That's why we hated it. Yes, it was annoying.
And like the actual
I got you. But if it was dope, because Jay-Z made an album about his wife and it was dope. Nobody was getting at him about it.
Yeah, we don't hate talking about.
And Justin Bieber on this, we like him. We talk about. I'm saying with just
wives on the 97 days.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying Justin Bieber is talking about his wife on here, and we like it for the most part. We're saying it sounds good. Chance the Rapper did it, and it sounded terrible. The sound, y'all listen to the album, right? It's terrible. It sounds terrible. It's this music behind it. It's terrible. That's
okay.
What I'm saying about it.
What did you guys not like on this album? Sans MLK features. What did you?
Okay, so sans everything surrounding the album. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's not much I didn't like about the album itself. I will say every single song being about Haley was much only because this album was called Justice. Mm-hmm. And I get that we're past that, but like that was one thing.
It's hard to get past. It's hard to get past.
The very end of it, it's like, okay. I do appreciate Justin Bieber did write on all these songs. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that it does. I do feel like I could see him sitting down writing all of this. It seems very personal, especially songs like Lonely. I love the songs about growing up in the industry and no one understanding you, because I think all that's very real. That
was very interesting.
He said they judge me for being an idiot kid.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. Like I remember, like we kind of grew up at the same time Justin Bieber did, and they were brutal to him. And granted, he did a lot of stupid things, but when you think about the fact that like, okay, well, he was 14 when I was
also
14.
like one of the first people to blow up because of the internet.
Yeah,
YouTube. Gain fame that way, and he's kind of become the blueprint for how not to grow up. When you're, remember the Anne Frank stuff, the N-word stuff, the peeing in a bucket stuff. It just felt like thing after thing. It felt like he could never.
Was calling the police on you because of your party stuff.
I felt like he could never do something
hitting the
right.
cameraman. Y'all saw that?
Yep.
So it's like
the terrible tattoos.
I love. So a strength of this is that he does reach that point and gets that personal and gives us that introspection on songs. Like I think the only ones I can think of maybe are Lonely, right?
And anybody.
Anyone,
yeah. Anyone, yeah. Okay.
Off My Face a little bit too, a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I just wish. Here's what I'm gonna say that I'm turning this into a weakness. I wish he could have done more of that throughout the album.
I agree. I wish he went.
I agree.
And he absolutely could be part of that, but like, just give us more introspection about what you've been through.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been interesting because then if it was Justice and he was just talking about like himself and him dealing with stuff, that would have been more interesting.
I could have made the connection.
I could have made the connection. It's like I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. He's talking about
something with himself.
Exactly. He's coming to terms with himself and who he is and what he's done.
That was so good.
That would have been more interesting. I would have been like, okay, I'm more into it. Okay, but going into what I don't like. I agree with Avery what he said earlier. A lot of the features could have been taken off.
Wait, which ones though? Because which features did you not like?
Kid Laroi was pointless to me. Kid Laroi was
scroll down so we can see all of them because
there's Khalid. Khalid was okay. He just didn't. That's the thing. I don't feel like the features.
They're almost predictable. Khalid's features almost so predictable.
It's fine. Okay, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it needs to happen. Okay.
No, I agree. I just feel like I know what a Khalid feature is gonna sound like.
Yeah, for sure. But I didn't need it. I'm gonna get a chance to past Chance the Rapper because I'm talking about like the other people. But like Kid Laroi, it was just pointless. He didn't even have like a verse. He was just doing the.
He did the second verse.
Really? That was him? Oh yeah, he did have a verse. It was just really pointless. Yeah. To me, that would have sounded better if it was just Justin Bieber. To me personally, he had a verse, but it would have sounded better if it was just Justin Bieber.
Wait, Kid Laroi's verse is kind of dope.
It wasn't okay. It was
White
not
Knuckles
dope.
trying to hold my sanity.
He did not say okay.
Bleeds. That's a bar.
We really gonna do this? We're gonna do this with Kid Laroi? Are you serious? We're gonna do this?
Yo, you know what I hated? You know what I hated on this album?
What?
The ad-libs. Why are there so many ad-libs? Why does he feel the need to ad-lib after every?
Because he's not the greatest singer. He's not the greatest singer. I told you guys.
He's not a bad singer.
I didn't say he's bad. He just is. It's just okay.
What's the one where he says, "Let's make babies"? Where's that one?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I don't remember that, but I remember he did.
That
okay, I'm
horrible.
I'm just okay, and that's another one too with the songs like Beam and Burna Boy.
It's right here.
Those two songs, yeah, those are two songs he could have taken off.
What is
what this reminds me of?
No,
it's not. The content matter is nothing like it. But do you remember that Meg song that we all make fun of? Like,
oh no,
I want to cry, baby.
Oh,
no,
really not
like a worse version of that Ariana Grande 3435 ad lib, which says "Give me some baby."
Oh yeah.
In that case, it was funny. This is just cringy.
Yeah, it's cringy.
Let's make
the two songs near the end.
I'll treat you like a mother.
No, let me tell you the two songs that I feel like he could have taken off entirely, even though y'all kind of gave some "Love You Different" and "Love by You." He could have taken both those.
No, you're not playing Burna Boy because "Love by You" is not bad.
I'm not. Hold on. Just because I'm coming at Burna Boy. Hold on. Just because Burna Boy, but in the context of his album, it could have been taken off entirely. It could have been. You know what would be cool if it was a bonus track. If he had like those and he could have put it on deluxe, I'd be like, okay, cool. He could have taken that off.
Oh, we're not even getting into the deluxe.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me, I ain't listening. If y'all, I ain't listening. Okay, but he could have. He could have taken that off.
I don't know if I hate the song just because the love. You can get into Beam and Burna Boy. When you get to them,
I hate the song because of them.
They sound just different from the rest of the album.
Yeah,
they're more like summer fun, like
it doesn't fit,
like Caribbean dance hall-ish influence, and I kind of like. I'm saying I like the variety and sound it gives me because that's such an the album. By the time you've listened to it straight through, it's been like sort of like, okay, you love Haley, you're unstable, you love Haley, and then these are about loving Haley, kind of, but it's also like it gives me more, like it's something different, you know.
You know what I wished. I wish instead of going that route, he would have gave us more like R&B, fun type Peaches type stuff. I wish he did more of that instead of because in Peaches, I was like, wow, give me another song kind of like that with another R&B feature like Kehlani or Janae Aiko or something like that. Like that would have been more dope to me instead of like going to the Burna Boy.
He thought this was an R&B album. He didn't. Right?
Oh no, no way. And people, what's so crazy? People on Twitter were saying, "Oh yeah, R&B Justin." I was like, please stop it. This is nothing like R&B.
You know what Peaches like really reminded me of?
What?
It's like a more poppy version of that Calvin Harris song with Frank Ocean and the Migos.
Oh my god, like I know exactly.
The same slide, right? It's like the same vibe. Same exact vibe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I wish he gave me because coming from Peaches was a switch up from coming from Somebody Ghost and Hold On and stuff like that. Peaches like
Slide.
If he gave us,
did you say that?
Yeah, he said slide. If he gave us some more songs after Peaches that were more R&B upbeat, that would have given me the upbeat version. I didn't need the. And Burna Boy sounds good. He sounds fine. Beam sounds fine. Just you could have taken those off.
He also should come out with like an alternative version of Peaches. I don't know if you heard his Tiny Desk, but he did a version of Peaches on there that was so good. And I heard this and it was like more poppy and I was like, oh, okay.
Let's talk about Peaches. Can we all agree Peaches is the best song on here? Like hands
yes, but
it's my second favorite.
Are y'all dead ass right now?
Yeah, Deserve You is my favorite personally, but
Off My Face is my favorite.
Yeah. Which one?
Off My Face. That's my favorite.
Oh, beautiful. Well, no, we should do that. We're gonna go to everyone's favorites. Peaches is my favorite. So we can start here.
This song is so good.
It sounds so groovy and so nice. I got my Peaches out in Georgia. I love that. Do I wish he could have had an Atlanta artist feature? And I'm making that a slight because it's like You're playing up the Peaches in Georgia thing. Give me a Georgia or artist. Give me Usher. Give me.
I don't think it always has to be that straightforward all the time, though. Honestly.
Okay, but it would have been nice if you're gonna do 2 R&B features from Atlanta specifically. There is a plethora of Atlanta R&B. See me Summer Walker. Hey, throw her on.
but to me, it sounds good. If it didn't sound good, I'd be like, but it sounds good. And I'm like, who cares?
I'm not even gonna start on Daniel Caesar. Okay, I guess.
He sounded great.
Okay, first of all, he sounded okay. I know we hate Daniel Caesar.
We don't hate Daniel Caesar.
No, I'm saying okay. Cancel. Okay, this is my point though. This is where it really stands out. Even though I like Justin Bieber's hook and everything on this, I forget his verse totally. Giveon and Daniel Caesar stole the show because their voices are so
Giveon needed more. He deserved more on this album.
Giveon needed more because Giveon's voice just from the entire album was the most noticeable like shift when someone
exactly. Yeah, because he has such a unique voice, but Daniel Caesar and Giveon next to Justin Bieber just makes Justin Bieber sound like such an inferior singer.
And the video looks cool.
Seeing all these lyrics together is insane.
Exactly, and the fact, and that's another thing. That's another slide I have too. His hooks took over the songs too much. He did his hooks way too much to me. He did his hooks like it was
that's like pop music though.
That's my problem. Well, that's my problem though. If you're gonna get deep and talk about get into the get some verses. I need two hooks. That's it. He had like 5 hooks. 5 times the hooks the chorus every time. That's what I don't like about it either. His hooks took over the song.
I'm still maintaining my anger that he didn't get one Atlanta artist to do this. He could have got 6 Lack. Isn't 6 Lack from Atlanta?
6 Lack?
Yeah.
But 6 Lack's not the greatest singer either, so I kind of get it.
No, we could have. No, I would remember go through my Atlanta Rolodex.
Okay, who's an Atlanta singer that sings as good as Giveon and Daniel Caesar? Give me one right now.
Well, you're putting me on the spot.
It's tough. I'm saying those are exceptional singers right now. So
that's why I said Summer Walker earlier.
She's okay. She's a good singer, but she's not a better singer than them, though.
Okay, I'm gonna find someone.
Isn't Mariba from Atlanta?
Oh yeah, that would've been good. See, Mariba, that would've been dope.
Is she from it? Is she?
Maybe.
I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna Google it out of fear of disappointment, but
yeah, exactly. That's a one. That's one. So
okay, so in all fairness, it may have been a challenge to get an Atlanta R&B singer. That's like
she's from Alabama, so no.
Okay, never mind.
Exactly. So,
so I'm letting him off.
Let's get to favorite songs. Let's wrap up.
Yeah. So who's next? Well, Avery, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song is "Off My Face." I thought it was really sweet and honest and cute.
I like this a lot.
I love the slower stuff. So,
give me more of that, Justin, because I feel like this also kind of showed off his vocal ability a little bit more too.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this is where he sounded the best, at least singing. So
yeah, I agree. And I was just playing that in the background, but I like that. I like it. The writing a lot. Short. I like the storytelling. It's short. And like this is I feel like it's one of the few love songs on here. This album full of love songs that's actually straight up a love song. Everything else is hidden under.
It's like a ballad. It's like a ballad.
Yeah.
Like this is and I like that a lot.
I like when he's like more simple. It's just him and a guitar, and there's not much else going on. Or there's like, I think that's where he really shined on this album to me.
I totally agree, because to me, I wanted, and I'm not the biggest pop guy, but I wanted more of that. Give me more simplistic production, because a lot of times, and it's so crazy because Deserve You, it's a really poppy song, and that's my favorite
writing
song.
Is really. I'm listening to it again. The writing is very, very great on this song.
Yeah, that's a good song. Deserve You I like because I just really like the hook. He sounds great. He sounds great, really great on the hook. Yeah, he was killing it, man. I was like, he's singing his ass off. So he was doing his thing on there. So I really enjoyed that. That is one of my slights. Like, I do wish he had more of the simplistic sounding production in the back for him to pour out his heart more. Because then to me, when for me personally with the album, it was like the pop.
A lot of it is surface level.
Yeah. It's really surface level, and the production really took over. He's like, is this a new song? Is this a new song? You know what I'm saying? Well, in terms of the pop songs, because it's sometimes hard to decipher sometimes. Even though he had different sounding stuff, but when it came to like the really poppy songs.
The Weeknd vibes though?
No.
I got the Weeknd vibes off of Deserve You, off of like. What are some other songs? I want to say Die For You, but I don't think he actually did. I think that's just the name of a Weeknd song.
Yeah, maybe Ghost.
No, I'm sorry, it is Die For You, because Die For You gives me 80 cents, and that's the Weeknd's bag right now.
Oh, Ghost is good too.
I like Ghost too. Ghost is a good one too.
MLK is that a Martin Luther King sample on Die For You? To me, it kind of sounds like a little bit of Billie Jean.
Really? You mean Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Is that what you Michael Jackson? I think you said Martin Luther King.
No,
which is not a crazy thing to say for this album. So. It did say, yeah, I did, yeah. I get what you're saying now, dude. I'm with
Like
you.
this sounds like, but no, that gives me. That's a great song too. Die for you.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I
again,
enjoyed it. This was kind of this was a fun one. Dominic Fike sounds good on here too.
How'd you
And I
guys
didn't
feel
know
about?
Dominic Fike before this. So like I did appreciate getting put onto him.
And how'd you guys feel about like songs like "Hold On" and "Somebody" and "Die for You"? Those three songs together, all no that three run. Cause I
So I
feel like we
like
talked
Die
about.
for You a lot. It's
Mhm.
remember it's after I'm okay interlude, so I struggle with that. But
I struggle with that too, but it's like okay, whatever.
MLK died for civil rights, but it's okay, Justin. You can die for Haley. Sorry, I'm done. Last one.
White privilege, bro.
There were some songs here that I know were good, but weren't exactly memorable to me. And that's what I feel about maybe Hold On. Like nothing.
Somebody.
My mind.
I think
I agree.
when you title songs somebody, anyone, hold
Yeah.
on, like those are so generic and so like boring. It's like I don't know.
I
You
agree.
have something called Off My Face or like Peaches. Like they're so like unique, and then you have something called Anyone, somebody.
I agree.
Like try a little harder.
I
I
agree.
like Ghost though. I feel like I remember liking Ghost.
Ghost was good. I'll set up for the ghost.
But okay, do we wanna get to some scores here?
Yeah, everyone do their closing statements and a score.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. Overall, the album was not bad. I think everything sounded okay. Honestly, personally, I didn't think there was nothing I came off of like I will say each time I listened to the album, I did enjoy it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's if you're looking for some background pop music, I'd say this is the album for you. I would say because it's not, you don't really got to think about it that much. Other than when you get to the MLK stuff, you're like, whoa, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, okay.
It's like you
But,
almost need to like make a playlist that excludes that.
That excludes that, exactly. Yeah, delete that off your Apple Music and Spotify, guys, on your albums if you can do that. But yeah, I didn't think anything was bad. There were some songs the songs I really enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot, and the songs that I thought were okay, I was like, like they're really, I want to say skippable because I would skip them personally, but they're not terrible. So that's why it's so enemy. So if I would skip this a score, whew, man, I'm feeling a 6 to a 5.5 to me. I need to pick one.
You have to pick one.
Can I go like 5.7 just to get in the middle of that?
Hey, no.
Can I do that? Can I do that?
No. Come on, no. Work a little harder.
Oh man.
Just round
I'm gonna
up.
give it a light 6. A light 6. I'm gonna give it a light 6. Light
So
6.
you're
Yeah.
gonna say
No, a light. No, not a light 6. Not a light 6.
A
Light
6 without ice.
Exactly.
For me, and I'm sure Nnamdi will echo the sentiment when he's wrapping up, but it's gonna be hard for me to divorce this album from the MLK stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna weigh it as heavily as Nnamdi's going to, but the songs were good. I thought it was like good pop music. I think he has some a couple really good songs on here. So nothing's as bad as Changes, and no song, even Holy, is not as bad to me as Yummy. So
You didn't like Yummy? Whoa. I'm joking.
You mean Grammy nominated song Yummy?
Yeah, Grammy nominated.
So I think I'm
that
gonna
Yummy, Avery?
I'm gonna go a 6. I'm gonna go a 6.
Okay. So
6 out of 10.
So we have 2 6s. Wow.
Okay, that changes my mind, and I'm kind of I'm kind of 5.55 now actually, because like
No,
I don't like
that. Should I put a 5 or do you want to give it a 5.5?
Put a 5. 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 That's final.
So this album, this pop album, is a good pop album. Like Noah said,
I'm gonna give this a 2, bro.
It is a melodic album. It has good enough features. It's a great background music pop album, and it has some really good standouts. You know, Off My Face, Peaches, Deserve You, and that's just what makes it all the more sad that I can't rank it on it being a good pop album, because whoever in that boardroom, whoever made the call or approved this plan to call this album Justice with the year we've just had, whoever thought it would be a good idea
Def Jam
to invoke MLK on the intro track, one of his most iconic speeches about civil rights, to invoke that for a love song and then do it twice and invoke him again saying he'll die to fight justice, and then use it to say I'll die for my wife. Whoever thought those were good ideas is tone deaf, should be fired, and honestly may have made it so what could have been Justin Bieber's better albums over the last few years is now like this tone deaf piece of honestly trash. Great album, horrible release, horrible rollout, and honestly, horrible packaging. And because of that, I can't grade it as highly as I'd want to. I'm giving it a 4 because I discount heavily for you trying to capitalize off of a movement and exploiting civil rights for your album. And I think we kind of have to collectively say, like, no, don't do that. So
our collective 97 demo score then would be a 5 out of 10.
I'm fine with that. I'm
fine, and that's interesting because I think Nnamdi likes the album more in terms of music. Musically, I think he likes. Yeah, I think he likes the album, but I agree, it's hard to get past it. It's very hard,
and that's what's sad. It's like musically, you're right.
And kind of bringing this all together with like the fact that this is March is Women's History Month, and last month was Black History Month. This is why we need diversity in different space in these spaces. I just
can't believe there were Black people in the room.
Because if there was a black person that was scared to speak up, or they didn't feel empowered to speak up, because they were the only one, it was a woman or something like that, a Black woman who didn't feel empowered to speak up, they didn't feel like their opinion would be heard. That's why we need diversity in these spaces. Because if there was like 3 Black people in there, like a Black guy, a Black girl, and somebody else, okay, if I was in there, I'd be like, bro, we are not gonna do this with these songs. After I heard the album, like we're not gonna do this.
Why do the thread?
Yeah, it was very meticulous.
Album was made. This album was created when they did that thread. So I just don't understand why they thought it was appropriate. But I'm not gonna beat a dead horse.
And I totally agree that he made these songs and then they decided to call it just add MLK interludes after that. I feel like he made the album first. He was like, then we're gonna do that.
Call it Love and release it on Valentine's Day. Like
exactly. Oh my gosh. When's Haley's birthday? Is it coming up? That would have been kind of cool if you released it on her birthday or something like that. That would have been kind of interesting, but whatever.
Okay. Whatever. Let's do this Billboard stuff really quick, and I'm just gonna speed through. The first one is Cardi B's Up jumped up, I believe, 6 spots and is now the #1 song in America. Cardi B's 5th #1.
That song growing on me a lot.
And I believe this is the first female solo rap #1 in a minute as well. Honestly, I think since she did it with Bodak Yellow, maybe. So pretty big feat. Congrats to Cardi. And that's pretty much one thing I want to highlight here. Oh, sorry, I lied. The other thing I wanted to highlight, #2 was Leave the Door Open, and I was rooting for Silk Sonic.
Oh, good for that.
But, I'm hoping that they're going to give us more stellar releases that will end up topping charts. But shout out to Cardi. She had that TikTok.
If it's up, then it's up. That. I give credit to that Michael Jackson edit on TikTok. That thing is fire.
Objectively, I like Up more than WAP. I don't care.
I agree. I actually agree.
Up's a great song.
I agree.
And we do our Morgan Wallen watch. We just wanted you to know that since his cancellation, his album's been #1 every single week since it's been out.
10 weeks at #1.
Our weekly Morgan Wallen update.
#1. I honestly think this is now the longest charting #1 this year. Easy.
It has to be. It has to be. I can't think of another one.
I struggle to think of another album that's had 10 consecutive weeks at #1. So
is Bieber going to be the one to? Is Bieber going to dethrone Morgan Wallen here?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
They said Rod Wave is. Rod Wave, this one, the chart refresh.
Oh, Rod Wave, yeah. Rod Wave,
okay, awesome. I need to listen to that album.
Yeah. That's Rod Wave from Florida.
And those are your Billboard highlights. There you go. Oh, and sorry, I lied. After Hours also has now been on the chart for a full year. I believe it's like #4. Wow. So shout out to The Weeknd. There's no Rhythm Airplay one this week. That's from last week.
We're gonna talk about After Hours soon because we've raved over it for the past year. But we haven't done a deep dive really talking about the whole album as a whole in terms of
so down.
Because
we've all talked about our little things of Weeknd and stuff like that.
Oh
no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Started.
Before we started, so we really got to take a deep dive one day into After Hours and that whole thing. Yeah, into After Hours. Yeah, I almost called it Blinding Lights because that almost was like
you have a song that iconic. Okay, and then Projects of the Week. I can go first. I was working out, and this went to one of my go to workout playlists, and I was brought to RTJ3, and I kind of forgot how great that album was.
Welcome to the spotlight.
They were all good, but RTJ3, I think I forgot that RTJ3 was actually my favorite Run the Jewels album for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so I thought RTJ4 dethroned it, but I may be back on Run the Jewels 3. Because it's my favorite.
It's so good.
Talk to Me is great. Call Ticketron is my favorite cardio song. Stay Gold. Love it. There's a lot of songs in there that I think we forgot about. So shout out Run the Jewels, even though Killer Mike had some questionable interactions with him and Brian Kemp.
I want to fact check that.
It's not from recently. It's old, but
Oh, okay. Run the Jewels is amazing. Benny the Butcher, The Plugs I Met Too. I am a sucker for anything Griselda, Street, anything like that. And this was part 2 of his 2019 EP project mixtape. This time it was all produced by Harry Fraud. He had features such as 2 Chainz was on it, Fat Joe, French Montana, Rick Ross. And I have been wearing this album the F out. I can't even lie, bro. I will listen to this song and put it on loop and listen to it another 3-4 times. Seriously, just back to back to back to back. Yeah, he's on the album. Man, Benny the Butcher is one of the most. I really can't think of an artist, a rapper that has more presence on his songs because his voice is so.
He seems like the anointed one of all the Griselda people.
Exactly, he's the anointed. He's the guy. Even though I love Westside Gun Conway, y'all know how I feel, but his voice is so. Oh my gosh, he just has a way of saying things, and they're so. I don't know, man. You wouldn't question him. It feels like he really been through this stuff, man. Like he don't play around with this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
This album cover is so hard.
Yeah, the album cover is incredible. You know what I'm saying? With Montana. You know what I'm saying? Tony Montana.
Called Survivor's Remorse about
Yeah, that's a good one too. But
about his friends being locked up.
I agree. But some standouts for me personally are Overall with Chinks, Talking Back, Live by It. I agree. Survivor's Remorse is a great one too. So
wait, what's the Butcher? Is that maybe Longevity? It's cut.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, those I love it. 9 songs, 28 minutes, short listen. I'm gonna kill it. So yeah.
My project of the week is Melophobia by Cage the Elephant. This is like their best album. It came out back in 2013, I want to say. This is definitely where Cage the Elephant peaked. Yeah, they haven't gotten as good as this since. But this is one of my personal favorite albums. It's like a rock album. I saw them perform it live, and it was one of my favorite concerts. I have a lot of memories attached to this one. It's just like nostalgic for me. I don't know why I listened to it. I think I heard one song over the radio, and I was like, yeah, that was a great album. I went back and listened to it.
That's crazy. Avery has seen every artist he listens to or is on his project the way he's seen them live.
So
what can I say?
I've seen Benny the Butcher live, so
I've seen everyone live. Ever.
I've seen Run the Jewels actually too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they opened for Lord.
Have I seen Run the Jewels? What do I feel like?
I haven't.
I don't think I have.
You might have.
I probably just watched them.
This is gonna be a very diverse project of the week because even though we have 2 rap albums, they're very different.
They're very different.
Yeah, my standouts off Melophobia were probably Telescope and Spiderhead and Cigarette Daydreams. So.
Cigarette Daydreams.
That's a classic. That's a classic right there.
Classic.
That's a classic.
So,
strong words.
Be on the lookout for the playlist this week, which actually, will probably include a song or 2 from Justice, as we always do with her reviews.
There's good songs.
I'm okay, is for sure landing. But that does it for this episode. Our final thoughts from Justice, we gave it a 5. No, just a 5. Smooth 5. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Listen to the album on your own and tell us how you feel about it. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next week.